Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel AK Masters. Friends, as you already know that KPSC has released the notification for AE and JE posts under PWD department. So this will be the golden opportunity for all the civil engineering aspirants. I will be covering the most important and expected questions with explanation topic wise. Today I will cover strength of materials part 1. So please do subscribe our channel AK Masters and press the bell icon for new notifications. Okay, without wasting much of our time, let's get started. Okay, the first question is find the strain of a brass rod of length 250 mm which is subjected to a tensile load of 50 kN when the extension of rod is equal to 0.3 millimeters. And the four options are option A 0.025, option B 0.0012, option C 0.0046, and option D 0.0014. Friends, the right answer is option B. Friends, in order to understand this question, we must understand the basic concept of strain. So what is strain? Strain is nothing but it is change in the length by original length, which is denoted by the symbol epsilon given by delta L upon L. So if we substitute these two quantities, that is delta L 0.3 millimeters and original length 250 mm into this equation, then we will get the answer as 0.0012. Hence the answer is option B. Okay, let's move on to the second question. Strain is a fundamental behavior of a material. Strain does not have a unit, and the four options are option A, both 1 and 2 are true, and 2 is the correct explanation of 1. Option B, both 1 and 2 are true, but 2 is not the correct explanation of 1. Option C, 1 is true, but 2 is false. And option D, 2 is true, but 1 is false. Friends, we know that strain is usually measured in laboratory and also it is an independent physical quantity. So that is why it is called as a fundamental quantity. So in the statement 1, strain is a fundamental behavior of a material. This statement is correct. Now coming to the statement 2, we know that strain is the ratio of change in the length upon original length. So strain is having same units which gets cancelled. Hence it is a dimensionless quantity. So statement 2 is also true. So from this we understand that statement 2 is not the correct reason for the statement 1. So our answer would be option B. The third question is the lateral strain is dash. Option A, the ratio of axial deformation to the original length. Option B, the ratio of deformation in area to the original area. Option C, the strain at right angles to the direction of applied load. And option D, the ratio of length of the body to the tensile force applied on it. Friends, we know that there are usually two types of strains. One is lateral strain and the other one is linear strain. Linear strain is also called as longitudinal strain. So lateral strain is nothing but it is the strain which is measured at right angles to the direction of applied load. So when a body is loaded, if we measure the strain at right angles, then we will get this lateral strain. And there is one more strain, linear strain. We measure this strain along the direction of applied load. So the correct answer is option C. Okay, the fourth question is some structural members subjected to long time sustained loads deform progressively with time, especially at elevated temperatures. What is such a phenomenon called? Option A fatigue, option B creep, option C fracture, option D none of the above. See, we must understand about the creep because creep is nothing but it is the time dependent deformation. It means that it occurs progressively with the time. So as time passes, the deformation we can see in the body. It also occurs when the body is subjected to a long time loading. So the answer is option B, that is creep. Now let us also understand the other two terms, that is fatigue and fracture. Friends, please do note that fatigue occurs when the body is subjected to cyclic loading, whereas fracture occurs when a body is subjected to a stress and that body splits into two pieces. So when the body splits into two pieces, we can observe the fracture type of failure. The fifth question is, for an isotropic, homogeneous and elastic material obeying Hooke's law, the number of independent elastic constants is dash. Option A 2, option B 3, option C 9 and option D 1. The right answer is option A 2. Friends, we know that there are basically for a linear isotropic and homogeneous material, there are four elastic constants. They are Young's modulus, modulus of rigidity, Poisson's ratio, and bulk modulus. Out of these, if we have any two constants, among these four, if you have any two elastic constants, then it would be satisfying the stress-strain relationship. So the right answer would be option A. Let's move on to the sixth question. What will be the elastic modulus of a material if the Poisson's ratio for that material is 0.5? Option A equal to its shear modulus. Option B 3 times its shear modulus. Option C 4 times its shear modulus. Option D non-determinable. Friends, we must know the equation, that is Young's modulus equal to 2 times modulus of rigidity into bracket 1 plus mu. So this is basically a relationship obtained between these two quantities, that is Young's modulus and modulus of rigidity. They have given Poisson's ratio as 0.5. If we substitute that into this equation, then we will get Young's modulus is 3 times the modulus of rigidity. Hence the answer is option B. Let's move on to seventh question. A solid metal bar of uniform diameter D and length L is hung vertically from a ceiling. If the density of the material of the bar is 1 and the modulus of elasticity is E, then the total elongation of the bar due to its own weight will be option A L by 2E, option B L square by 2E, option C E by 2L, option D E by 2L square. Friends, for elongation, we need to remember this formula, that is delta is equal to WL by 2AE. Friends, please do remember this, because from this formula we can derive an equation for this question. See, they have given density as 1. So we know that W is equal to rho into A into L. If we substitute rho is equal to 1, then we will get W is equal to A into L. So substituting this into this equation, then we will get delta is equal to L square by 2E, which is option B, that is L square by 2E. Let's move to the eighth question. A solid uniform metal bar is hanging vertically from its upper end. Its elongation will be dash. Option A proportional to length and inversely proportional to the d square. Option B proportional to L square and inversely proportional to D. Option C proportional to L but independent of D. Option D proportional to L square but independent of D. Friends, in the last question I have told you that to remember the formula of elongation, that is WL by 2AE. So since it is a uniform metal bar, substituting that area is equal to pi d square by 4 in this equation, we will get this equation, which is 4WL by 2 pi d square E. So friends, please do observe that in this equation we can understand that elongation is directly proportional to length and it is inversely proportional to the square of the diameter. Hence the answer would be option A. The ninth question is, a member ABCD is subjected to point loads P1 45 kN, P2, P3 450 kN and P4 130 kN. What will be the value of P necessary for equilibrium? Option A 350 kN, option B 365, option C 375 and option D 400 kN. And they have given this figure where they have denoted P1, P2, P3 and P4 here. For equilibrium equation, we must know that summation of fx is equal to 0. So here you can see in this picture that P1 and P3 are acting in the left direction, whereas P2 and P4 are acting in the right direction. So sum of all the forces in the x direction must be equal to 0. So P1 plus P3 must be equal to P2 plus P4. Substituting all these three forces in this equation, we will get P2 as 365 kN. Hence the answer would be option B. Okay, the 10th question is the maximum strain energy stored at elastic limit is dash. Option A, resilience. Option B, proof resilience. Option C, elasticity. And option D, malleability. Friends, the right answer is option B, proof resilience. Okay, first let us understand what is resilience. See, when a material is elastically deformed, then that material will absorb the energy. So that ability of the material to absorb the energy is called as resilience. Whereas proof resilience is, it is the maximum energy stored up to elastic limit. And as we all know that elasticity is the property by which any body regains its original shape. Whereas malleability is the property by which any material can be beaten into thin sheets. Okay friends, this is all about part 1. And in the upcoming videos, I'll be uploading many more important topics related to KPWT. So don't forget to subscribe our channel AK Masters and press the bell icon for new notifications. Thank you.